But you, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book until the time of the end. Then many shall run to and fro and search anxiously through the book, and knowledge of God's purposes as revealed by his prophets shall be increased and become great. Dan 124. Introduction. There seems to exist a relationship between the measurements of biblical temples and objects and measurements of the distances and objects in heaven as above so below. Sacred cubit. The Great Pyramid dimensions reflect the sacred cubit, the same unit of measure described in the Bible by Noah, Moses, Ezekiel, and King Solomon. Sir Isaac Newton defined the sacred cubit as 25 pyramid inches. Based on his research of the ancient texts, he postulated the length of the sacred cubit to be between 24.90 and 25.02 inches as distinct from the royal cubit equal 25.62 inches, believed to be the measurement employed by the Egyptians in construction of the Great Pyramid. 1 sacred cubit 25 pyramid inches 25.0265 modern British American inches are 63.5 cm. A pyramid inch is about 1.001 of a British or American inch. 125 x sacred cubit 1 inch 2.54 centimeters. Heavenly astronomical origin of the sacred cubit. The pyramid inch exhibits a special relation to the size of the Earth. Geodesic measurements of the polar radius of the Earth show that the Earth has a radius of 3,949.89 miles. Converting that to feet and then inches, we see that the Earth's radius is very close to 250 million actual inches. 250 million pyramid inches is exactly the polar radius of the Earth. The original perimeter of the Great Pyramid was 36,524.2 pyramid inches, the same as the 1100 of the number of days in a solar year. Because a pyramid is a four-sided structure, this gives us one more interesting reason in addition to the Earth base measure why the sacred cubit was divided into 25 parts to get the pyramid inch. If we divide the length of one side by 25 to get sacred cubits, we find that the length is 365.242 sacred cubits. Thus, the 365.242 solar year theme is found in both the perimeter and the base side of the pyramid. The Earth's solar radius is 250 million pyramid inches, translates to 10 million sacred cubits. In other words, a sacred cubit, when defined as such, is 110 million the polar radius of the Earth. If that sounds strange, then consider the so-called definition of the meter. That unit of measure is 110 million of a quadrant of the Earth along a predetermined meridian. In other words, the quarter circumference of the Earth. If this were the case, then the ratio of the meter to the sacred cubit would be pi to 3.141592, 1 meter 39.37 inches, 1 sacred cubit 25.0265 inches, ratio 1 sacred cubit 1 meter 1.57312 by 1.57313 3.146. Very close approximation of pi. This would not be an exact ratio since the Earth is an oblate sphere, but it is a very close approximation. Dividing the meter by 100 yields a centimeter, and dividing the sacred cubit by 100 yields very closely to the quarter inch. The nautical mile was originally defined as 1 minute of arc along a meridian of the Earth, 1,852 meters. The Earth's solar radius equal 10 million sacred cubits. Therefore, surface distance equivalent to 1 minute 2 pi Earth radius 36,062,909 sacred cubits 1,847 meters, which is almost exact value of 1 nautical mile 1,852 meters. This indicates that sacred cubit is connected with Earth radius. Roman mile 1,479 meters, nearly 10 times the height of the Great Pyramid, 146.59 meters. Also, average distance from the Sun to Earth. 1 billion height of the Great Pyramid by Doug Krieger. Introduction. It seems numbers of measure, time, distance, area and equally gematria values, the musical scales, in the company of Sumerian, Egyptian, Roman, Maya etc. units of measure are all interconnected and integrated. Gematria. A gematria is a system of assigning numerical value to a word or phrase, in the belief that words or phrases with identical numerical values bear some relation to each other, or bear some relation to the number itself, as it may apply to a person's age, the calendar year, or the like. It is likely that the term derives from the order of the Greek alphabet, gamma being the third letter of the Greek alphabet gematria. Alternatively, the word gematria is generally held to derive from Greek geometria, geometry, though some scholars believe it to derive from Greek grammateia. Rather, it's possible that both words had an influence on the formation of the Hebrew word. Although ostensibly derived from Greek, it is largely used in Jewish texts, notably in those associated with the Kabbalah. The best-known example of gematria is the Hebrew word chai life, which is composed of 2 letters which add up to 18. This has made 18 a lucky number among Jews, and gifts in multiples of 18 are very common among Jews. Some identify 2 forms of gematria: the revealed form, which is prevalent in many hermeneutic methods found throughout rabbinic literature, and the mystical form, a largely Kabbalistic practice. Though gematria is most often used to calculate the values of individual words, psukim, biblical verses, Talmudical aphorisms, sentences from the standard Jewish prayers, personal, angelic and godly names, and other religiously significant material, Kabbalists use them often for arbitrary phrases and, occasionally, for various languages. A few instances of gematria in Arabic, Spanish and Greek, spelled with the Hebrew letters, are mentioned in the works of Rabbi Abraham Abulafi. Hasidic rabbis also used it, though rarely, for Yiddish. However, the primary language for gematria calculations has always been and remains Hebrew, and, to a lesser degree, Aramaic. Wikipedia. The extraordinary monuments worldwide: Great Pyramid of Giza, Stonehenge, etc., as well as temples described in sacred books, e.g. Temple of Solomon, Ezekiel, New Jerusalem, are described and connected by numbers which appear to gel effortlessly. In particular, the quest for the measurement of the sacred cubit. Does it exist? If so, did Sir Isaac Newton and a successor of his, John Taylor, uncover it as 25.02 or its final improvement of 25.20 as derived from other fascinations? And, if it does exist in antiquity, what impact does it have upon metrology? Likewise, they who have sought to uncover the great mysteries of the dimensions of paradise, such as Plato and John Mitchell of occult fame, did they in fact fancy chance upon elements in number that would unlock the grand unified theory demonstrating mathematically the generation of the physical universe and its underlying dynamics through the ages? Humankind produced numbers to represent distance and time which should have no reason to be related. However, a closer examination reveals there are connections there which cannot be ignored. For instance, source http www.skein.com. There are 5,280 feet in a modern-day mile, and 86,400 seconds in 24 hours. Interestingly, 86,416.3636 x 5,280, in addition to 16.3636 x 22,360. This we term as degrees in a circle. The underlined number 36 within the 16.36363636 is a cyclic repeating number. The 87.00036744308, divided by 51.779567945149, 1.680206515729, that multiplied by 1800 3024.37172883, a tad over 3024. The GP base perimeter 4.444 x pi. By 1.680206515729, 23.4601086503, is this the Earth tilt? The employed 4.444 x 940. For this reason the 4.444 by 680.43,024. This 680.4 divided by the GP height of 480, then multiplied by 2,133.3333,024. The 2,133.333 by 20.418754 43,560 square feet in 1 acre. The employed 20.41875 is 12.9642857 by 1.575756 divided by 480. The 12.9648571 divided by the school days pi 22 divided by 7 of 3.148574.125. The aforementioned square feet in 1 acre 43,560 divided by 4.125 10,560. This is obviously 2 miles or 5,280. Note the following segment is copyright by Doug Krieger. The divine mind is attempting to communicate to us through divine dimensions. Not a lot of hocus pocus, sound and furry signifying nothing. First of all, there are a series of numbers which clearly interact among biblical objects such as Noah's Ark, the tabernacle in the wilderness, Israel's temples, Ezekiel's temple, and in particular, the NJ, and if Isaiah the prophet is correct, the Great Pyramid of Giza as a monument to the Lord on the border Giza of Egypt, which are 2, 3, 6, 60, 66 or 666, 9, 12, 15 and multiple combinations of the same as in 5280 mile in feet of 5, 2, 8, 1, 5, 18 and multiple combinations of 18 such as 792, 7920. The diameter of the Earth in miles is 7, 9, 2, 18, 24, 27, 36 or 360, 7, 72, 144, 216, 25.20 or 252, 5040. Plato's prime number. These are the revelatory numbers and their uncanny relationships to 9 as in 27 or 27 9, or 360, 3, 6, 9, etc. Just considering the number of square feet in an acre. For example, we have 43,560 or 18 for 4, 3, 5, 6, 18 or 666, 6, 6, 6, 18, or the base angle of the Great Pyramid of Giza GPG is 51 degrees 5151 or 666 as in 51 but Morsa 6, 6, 6, 18. The prime number of the NJ is 6 by 6 by 6216 9. The number of God see below. For example, pi 227 3.142857 repeats into infinity, so let's take these numbers separating their decimal a 3, etc. 3, 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7, 3, 2, 7 a 3 by 27,216. The number of God or the name of God. Exodus chapter 141,921 from Hebrew gematria, each verse having 72 as its total a 3 by 72,216. The perimeter of the Great Pyramid of Giza is the most measured artifact of antiquity. Scholars like John Mitchell clearly note its base perimeter as 3,024 linear feet. However, he and others do precious little with this calculation wherein the measurement of the New Jerusalem, the dimensions of paradise, are clearly revealed. Check 3024 by 12 inches 36,288. The perimeter in inches of the GP, which equals 3, 6, 2, 8, 8, 2, 7 or 2791 of the cardinal numbers of the NJ. The diameter of the Earth is 7,920 linear miles or 18. The prime number of the New Jerusalem at its equator are one side of the NJ, which is 661 furlong by 12,000 furlongs, 7,920,000, which add up to 18 or 7, 9, 2, 18, 5280, which 15 is one edge of the NJ in miles. 1,500 miles by 12 edges for the New Jerusalem is a square cube. 18,000 miles 18. The prime number of the NJ and 18,000 miles by 5,280, 95,040,000, which is the fractal of the distance at apogee between the Earth and the Sun and, of course, 95418. The prime number of the NJ. The 36,288 of the GPG's perimeter directly relates to the 144 of the New Jerusalem's wall. 144 cubits, 36,288, 144,252 or 25.20. The number of the sacred cubit. Likewise 36,288, 25.20, 144, which is the wall of the New Jerusalem. Revelation chapter 2117. The Egyptians considered 3, 6, and 7 most sacred numbers. 3 represented the triple goddess, 6 meant her union with God, 7 meant the 7 Hathors, 7 planetary spheres, 7 gated holy city, 7-year reigns of kings, and so forth. Egyptians were obsessed with the conviction that the total number of all deities had to be 37, because of the number's magical properties. This was because it combined the sacred numbers of 3 and 7, and 37 multiplied by any multiple of 3 gave a triple digit, a trinity: 111, 222, 333, 444, 555, etc. The miraculous number 666 is the product of 3 by 6 by 37. 666 special properties. 666 is the sum of the first 36 natural numbers, i.e. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 6, 6, 6, 6, and thus a triangular number. The number of prime numbers up to 666 is 121, which is the square of 11, which is the number of prime numbers up to 36. 666 is the sum of the squares of the first 7 prime numbers: 492 quadrillion, 549 trillion, 121 billion, 169,289,666. The arithmetic mean of the decimal digits of 666 is 666,636. The harmonic mean of the decimal digits of 666 is also 6,3,1,6,1,6,6. The Roman numeral for 666 DCLXVI has exactly one occurrence of all symbols whose value is less than 1000. D500, C100, L50, X10, V5, I1. The sine of the angle 666 degrees multiplied by 2 is equal to the golden ratio, 216 and 144,216. The name of God and the 144 are 9, 9, 1, 8. The New Jerusalem are 216, 72, 72, 72 are 9, 9, 9, 27 are 9 and 27 is again the NJ but 9 by 9,729 or 18. The prime number of the NJ 7, 2, 9, 1, 8 are 216 minus 144 72. That wonderful number comprising the four corner angles of the GP of 51 deg 51 feet 51 inches 666 is 6, 6, 6, 1, 8 extension 472 and 729. The number of fullness 216 and 144 must be viewed in light of the New Jerusalem as 9, 9, 1, 8 are 2, 1, 6, 1, 4, 4, 1, 8, and these two sets of 9 when multiplied together 216 by 144 31,104 are 31149. And now we have three sets of 9 are 9, 216, 9, 144, 9, 360 for 144 216, 360, 271 of the prime numbers of the NJ, and finally 360 by 144 for God. Circle, no beginning or ending 360 degrees working upon man 12 times 12,144. The wall of the NJ 51,840 are 5, 1, 8, 4, 1, 8. The prime number of the NJ. Doug Krieger. The dimensions of the New Jerusalem, the Great Pyramid and the Sacred Cubit. By Doug Krieger we have approached the most incredible structure of all antiquity, but without the Sacred Cubit and dimensions of the New Jerusalem, it means absolutely nothing. I am wholly aware that the Gnostic, pagans, etc. have feasted upon number for millennium after millennium. Why, look into the heavens and you will see why. The geometry, music, astronomy, physics, mathematics, calculus, optics, biology, chemistry and a multitude of disciples declare the sacred origins of these matters. Who are we to deny there is a divine plan behind all of this? How stupid we have been. All of this is just accident and happenstance. Never connecting the dots, we notice they all fall into a miraculous divine master plan for their universe, and there's tons of this stuff out there. And I am not being presumptuous in stating that unbelievable fact today. We can stand on the shoulders of those early folks who explored the GPG and measured its amazement. They knew, we know, there was something there communicating throughout the ages. Now, at the end of time, and now we have come to this time in history. The supreme question arises: did aliens transmit these incredible calculations to us, or did some divine mind originally transmit these unfathomably accurate elements of metrology to early man? Yet, through the millennia, these divine dimensions having been lost in antiquity, though, now, for a short time of history, the whereabouts has been uncovered, staring us in the face, yet unbelievably preserved in what were thought the rather sublime, archaic, but quaint, measurements of the mile, stade, furlong, inch, a foot, yard, pound, etc. Yes, the unscientific rubbish compared to the brilliance of the French metric system of tens, whereas those of twelves are but of a king's literal foot. Alas, even the Brits succumb to the secular atheists of the metric system, while Uncle Sam, try though he may, simply cannot count his height in meters, nor drive kilometers, nor weigh himself in grams, bound as he is to antiquity's accuracies. Modern students of ancient metrology, or units of measure, have been hampered by their use of the irrelevant metric system in the researchers. The French meter is a modern contrivance of the late 18th century, based on an inaccurately measured quarter of the Earth's circumference through the poles, of which the meter was made a 10 millionth part. This newfangled unit bears no relation to any ancient unit, and by using it for antiquarian research, modern scholars have concealed from themselves the key to the elucidation of ancient metrology. The key is in number. All the ancient units relate to each other, and to the dimensions of the Earth, by the same code of number as is found in every other ancient form of art and science. John Mitchell, New View over Atlantis, 1983, pp. 1256. Without the New Jerusalem's divine calculations, the mysteries of the Great Pyramid of Giza remain shrouded in Egyptian configurations, which are inferior to those of the New Jerusalem, though they are, of course, deeply appreciated and can represent authentic conclusions. Without the measurements of the Great Pyramid of Giza, the full expression of the glorious New Jerusalem would be diminished. The one complements the other. How ostentatious of the divine geometer to include us in on his divine plan for the ages by the survival of the only seventh wonder of the world, having built something so perfect and yet so mysterious, that we could today uncover its mysteries and exult in its message. The shepherd kings of yesteryear, though long past, yet speak anew for this most difficult hour of our tribulation and uncertainty, for like a rock they cannot be moved. If Sir Isaac Newton spent 80% of his life attempting to discover the key to unlock these mysteries, let's not fool around here, if he thought it so necessary. And folks like Queen Elizabeth I, John Dee, Sir Walter Raleigh, Sir Francis Drake, and even Shakespeare and Milton, well, were they all mad? I utterly concur with Mitchell, and, no, I am not sorry for having deprecated the metric system founded by the French. Mitchell claims, and it can be mathematically proven, that at its primary concern it is a faulty system of measurement, and, yes, you can do trig without it. Why only the stubborn Americans have not abandoned the mile and all its accoutrements is beyond me. Even the British have succumbed to the deceit of the metric, and will they admit to their wrong? Of course not. When we view numbers we tend to think of their sequential structures 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. and see their interrelationships in order, but disregard their singularity as composites, so that when we view 144 or 216 they are not simply in their sequence, nor are they stagnate, i.e., 144 occurred after 143 and down the road until we have 216, but that 144 is likewise 901,449 and the same for 216. Likewise numbers interact, they are not stagnate with each other, as in 144,216,360 or 216, 144, 72 or 216, 3, 72 or 216 by 144, 31,104, which in turn 9 as in 31149, with the 0 being dropped as in virtually all configurations. Square roots a number multiplied by itself equaling an original number, as in the square root of 25 is 5, or 5 times 525 can be utilized, and of course, pi 3.1485714, for here we have 3, and 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7, 1, 4, 3, 2 and 3 by 3296 and 9, 6, 1, 5, 1, 5 is the edge of the New Jerusalem, or 1,500 miles. Furthermore, the principle of the fractal is mandatory in dealing with number. For example, the distance between the Earth and the Sun at apogee is 95,040,000 miles. This can be expressed as a fractal in inches, and 95,040,000 is the distance between the Earth and the Sun at apogee. My inadvertent discovery of the number of statute miles from the Earth to the Sun at its apogee. I love doing this, and, of course, I flipped out when I so discovered it on my own, no less via ratios, of course. Now, let's look at the New Jerusalem described in the Bible. And he carried me away in the Spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God, having the glory of God, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal, and had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. On the east 3 gates, on the north 3 gates, on the south 3 gates, and on the west 3 gates. And the wall of the city had 12 foundations, and in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. And he that talked with me had a golden reed to measure the city, and the gates thereof, and the wall thereof. And the city lieth foursquare, and the length is as large as the breadth, and he measured the city with a reed, 12,000 furlongs. The length and the breadth and the height of it are equal. And he measured the wall thereof 144 cubits, according to the measure of a man, that is, of the angel. King James Bible, Revelation chapter 211,017. Remembering it was King James who followed Queen Elizabeth I, wherein she passed in 1603, and then was commissioned the KJV, the Queen having laid its formidable foundation in the sacred cubit first. The prime measurement of the New Jerusalem is 12,000 furlongs on one of its 12 edges. Revelation chapter 2116, and one must use the KJV or NKJV without distorting the measurement, and it is also foursquare, but it is a cube according to the Apocalypse, and, as per the sacred cubit measurement of 25.20, which I firmly firmly believed to be utterly extraordinary and unique and incredibly preserved by John Dee's work with Queen Elizabeth I. Long but incredibly interesting research here, and how the Brits came up with a nautical mile versus statute mile. Well, 1 furlong is equal to 660 feet. Even John Mitchell admits to this, so, taking 660 by 12,000 furlongs, 7,920,000 feet, and 7,920 as the diameter of the Earth in miles, and 7, 9, 2, 1, 8 and 18 is definitely the number of the New Jerusalem, and, interestingly enough, so is the number 15, as in 6612, 15,660 by 12,000 furlongs. Allow me. Now, 7,920,000 feet is equal in miles to 1,500 miles, 7,920,000, 5,280, and 5,2,815, so 15 at 18, 1,500 miles by 12 edges, 18,000 miles, or 18. Therefore we have the numbers 15 and 18 prominently displayed in the NJ New Jerusalem. The NJ has no need of the sun nor of the moon, and the righteous shall shine as the sun. Now check this out: 7,920,000 feet by 12 inches, 95,040,000, or the fractal in inches of the distance between the Earth and the Sun at apogee in miles furthest distance, and 9,5418. Of course, 18,000 miles, all 12 edges by 5,280 feet, 95,040,000 feet, which is the same fractal but in feet of the distance between Earth and the Sun in miles, etc. Incidentally, since we've reached the Sun, allow me, the Sun's diameter is 864,000 miles, or 18 to the math, and 864,000 miles by 5,284,561,920,000 to 27. Now, if the Sun, like the NJ, were cubed and had 12 edges, using its diameter as the primary edge, we would have 864,000 by 12, 10,368,000 miles, or 18, the prime number of the New Jerusalem, and 10,368,000 miles by 5,280, 54,743,040,000 to 27, and 9, and 54,743,040,000 by 12, 656,916,480,000 to 45, which equals to 9. Are you tracking with me now? Let me blow your mind. 95,040,000 miles by 5,280 feet, 501,811,200,000 feet to 51,811,218, the prime number of the NJ, the basis of the 25.20 sacred cubit, has altogether much to do with the measurements of the sacred cubit. But, note this: 25299 in the scripture Judeo-Christian connotes fullness, as in 9 gifts of the Spirit and 9 fruits of the Spirit. So we discover a most amazing thing here: 18,000 miles of the NJ is 189 or 1829. Likewise, the number 2,520 is 360 degrees, the rotation of the Earth in 1 24-hour day x 7 days 1 week, 2,520 degrees. Furthermore, 252036, so you have 2,523,618, the number of the NJ, and 2,520 is the smallest number that can be divided by each of the numbers from 1 to 10, without any remainder. Our little team has discovered scores of these peculiar associations. Is this by chance, by accident? These things came to us during the past 4 months, July October 2011, and like writing a symphony, honestly, I felt I was going out of my mind. Plato's 5040, 9, 2, 2520 are 2 sets of 9 or 18, and on it went. Not only was astronomy brought into this, but music, geometry, biology, and a host of disciplines wherein we performed similar numerical feats, baffling otherwise normal minds. I can't imagine why I've seen all this and much more. So my Jewish friend gives me that peculiar flick called Pi 3.14 or 227, which prominently mentions 2 numbers in the flick. They are 144 and 216. Trust me, only 2 prominent numbers. Look at them. What do you see? Here's what I saw: 144 9 and 216 9 and 9 9 1 8. Also 144 is another prime number of the NJ, the 144,000 Rev 7 and 14, and as John Mitchell pondered, for some reason the wall of the New Jerusalem is 144 cubits, so John, now deceased, 144 by 25.20, 3628.8, or 36,288 or 3.628827279. Also, 36,288 is the number in inches precisely of the perimeter of the base of the Great Pyramid of Giza, using 756, which is standard X for the perimeter base 3024, and also 9 by 12 inches 36,288 inches, which is 27,279. Simply mind-numbing and cubing the Great Pyramid, using its base X 312 edges 9,072, 9, 7, 2, 1, 8 or 9,072, by 12 inches 108,864, or 1, 8, 8, 6, 4, 2, 7, 2, 7, 9, and, no, this transmission of information doesn't go into the many intricacies of the GPG, virtually all of which, from what I can preliminarily ascertain, confirm nigh all that has gone on before in this piece. Utterly astounding. The 216 was critical to the Orthodox Jews because it had within it the name of God, and they wanted to get this name to hasten the coming of Messiah. It is taken from 3 verses from the book of Exodus chapter 141,921, each comprised of 7 2, 7, 2, 9 gematria 72 by 3,216 or 9 again the name of God, and 216, 9, 144, 9, 360, 9 or 99,927 God. The NJ 360 or 9 are the circle, the sun are 360 degrees, and 216 by 144 31,104 or 3114 of our addition and multiplication we have 9, 9, 18, the prime number of the NJ. The nautical mile and the years of the great processional zodiac Mazzaroth. Now, allow me to bore you to tears. There are, as you well know, 21,600 nautical miles in the Earth's circumference, another 9 incidentally, and 1 degree 60 nautical miles are 21,600, 360 miles, and 3 of such nautical degrees 180 miles 18, and the great processional of the zodiac 25,920 years 360 degrees in a circuit, a circle 72 years per degree by 3 degrees 7 2, 7 2, 7 2, 216. The name of God are 2169 inches, and Bazaar of Bazaar 180 nautical miles x 5,280, using the statute miles and mixing it with a nautical mile 5,280 by 180 950,400. Look familiar? 95,040,000 and 950,400 is a fractal of the distance between the Earth and the Sun, and, of course, 95418. Note 25,920 years 259,218. The prime number of the New Jerusalem, and 1 nautical degree of the Earth 60 miles and 1 degree of great processional 72 years, therefore 6072, 672, 151. One side of the NJ's 1500 is fractal and focuses our attention upon the Earth and the heavens, the 2 great spheres, and 180,216,396 or 3, 9, 6, 18 or 180 by 216 38,880 or 3, 8, 8, 8, 2, 7, 2, 7, 9 and 6,072 by 3 degree sets 18,216 or 1, 8, 2, 1, 6, 1, 8. The number of the New Jerusalem. The heavens, the earth cry out for the New Jerusalem. The New Jerusalem NJ side is 7,927,920,000 by 7,920, 62,726,400, 43,560 acre 144. The prime measurement of the NJ's wall, which includes Israel in the church. 12 gates. The names of the 12 tribes of Israel and the 12 apostles of the Lamb. Her foundations are 12 times 12,144, also 62,726,427, which is a prime number of the NJ, and 9 are 279, or, if you would, 144, 9 and 62,726,400, ultimately 9, i.e., 27 and 9, 9, 1, 8. The prime number of the NJ, 62,726,400, which is really 62,726,400,000,000 or 660, by 12,000 furlongs, 7,920,000 linear feet x 7,920,000 linear feet, 62,726,400,000,000 square feet. Like, let's start working with the G20 budget, and but one side of the New Jerusalem x 6 sides of the cubed NJ 376,358,400,000,000 square feet, 43,560 square feet in an acre, 8,600,000,000 640 million acres, or 86418. The prime number of the NJ are her 18,000 linear miles cubed, 12 edges, edge being 1,500 miles long in linear length. One of the most special properties of 666 is this 66618, so if left alone 666 isn't doing too well, but when man for it is the number of a man is added to the almighty 3, then something marvelous happens, and don't forget 6 by 6 by 6,216 are 3 times 72,216, the number of God's name. See below. The acre 43,560 square feet, which is also 18, but the edge of the New Jerusalem if it be 660 by 12,000 furlongs, 7,920,000 linear feet x 7,920,000 to secure the square footage of one of its 6 sides, 7,920 looping off the zeros to see it more clearly, and 79218 by 7,920 62,726,400, which is 27 and 943,560 square feet in an acre. 1,440 are the 144 of the New Jerusalem herself. Note herself in that she is a bride prepared for her groom, the eternal relationship of God with man. With today's GPS we have clearly determined that the distance from the Great Pyramid of Giza to the Temple Mount in Jerusalem is 273 miles precisely, and that from its furthest base point to the Dome of the Spirits wherein was the Ark of the Covenant, Dome of the Tablets, indeed, a measurement which corresponds in volume to that of the King's Chamber of the GPG in its sarcophagus, another one of my ridiculously unbelievable discoveries based on the sacred cubit. Now here is something for all who are on the quest for truth and the revelation of the hidden mysteries of antiquity. With modern technology this can now be at our fingertips, so hold on to your seat. So, let's take the 273 miles, which number 273 is found in the 4th book of Moses, the book of Numbers, in chapter 34,051, especially 46, and for the redemption of the 273 of the firstborn of the children of Israel, who are more than the number of the Levites, i.e., more than 22,000 are, and indeed, the number of the shekels and jers for redemption opens up a treasure trove to us as well, but later. So let's take the 273 miles by 5,280, for the inch, a foot, yard, furlong, mile, etc. are all predicated upon the sacred inch and cubit, and this is what we get: 273 miles, x 5,280, 1,441,440, or 2 sets of 144, which is the measurement of the wall of the New Jerusalem, Rev. 2117, and he measured its wall 144 cubits, according to the measure of a man, that is, of an angel. Note both man and angel so mentioned, i.e., the earth man and the heavens angel, and note, you are taking 27312 extension 52815 side of the NJ, and that both together constitute 27, i.e., 121527 or 279 or 12159 as well. Now, if you divide this 1,441,440 by yards, i.e., 3 feet, it will equal 480,480, or 2 sets of 12 each, or 121224. Could this allude to the 24 elders of the Revelation of the 12 gates and 12 foundations, or Israel and the Church of the New Jerusalem? Come on now, there are 2 sets of 144 in the 273, and there are 2 groups of 144,000 in the Revelation. They are brought together in the New Jerusalem's wall. So, some have said, including me, that the first group of 144,000 are Israel in Rev. 7, and the second group of 144,000 are the Church in Rev. 14, and interestingly enough 144,9 and 144,9 and 9,918, which is the number of the NJ in linear miles, i.e., 18,000 miles on 12 of its edges, with one edge 1,500 miles, or 660 by 12,000 furlongs, 7,920,000 of, etc. but of the Great Pyramid of Giza, and due to the fact it is the most measured structure of antiquity on the face of the planet, we have incredibly accurate calculations due to a host of 1800s evangelical eschatologists and modern characters as well, including the French. Now, what I'm saying here, most definitively, is this: the relationship of the Great Pyramid of Giza, the children of Israel, their exodus, and the Temple Mount in Jerusalem are all together interconnected and reflect the sacred measurements of the New Jerusalem in toto. Hold your breath. 66618 Remember, the 144 cubits is according to the measure of a man. Even so, though the beast's number 666 left alone by itself without the addition is very dangerous, however, if the three-sided pyramid for the triangle sets the pace here is calculated into the 666, it transforms it into the New Jerusalem, and, behold, the multiple of wonders, 6 by 6 by 6,216 look familiar. Besides looking like 9, it is really 72, 72, 72, 3 times 72,216 equals to 3 degrees of the great processional of the zodiac. It is at once the number of a man and the measure of a man. It constitutes 9, 9, 9, 2, 7, the New Jerusalem coming down from God out of heaven, as seen in the zodiac Mazzaroth, the way it was originally intended by the Ancient of Days and the real ancients, i.e., Adam, Seth, Enoch, Noah, Melchizedek, and Job, etc. It is altogether clear that the 216 is the name of God. See here pi. The truth of the matter is this: the Egyptians did, in fact, consider sundry numbers as sacred. However, the Great Pyramid of Giza via its divine dimensions superseded anything conjured up by the magicians of Egypt, or for that matter the Aztecs, etc. Newton and Mitchell are correct. These artifacts of antiquity, the oldest on Earth, are extraterrestrial, i.e., divine in origin, in nature, if you would. They are simply the most ancient of divine measurement and holy, and ultimately predict and lead toward the New Jerusalem in their fullness. My series on the purposes of God are fraught with measurements from the Great Pyramid of Giza, and now all this material, grief, it's unending. Tell me, is this not altogether unbelievable? One base side of the Great Pyramid of Giza GPG is 756, and I will not attempt at this time to utterly substantiate this calculation. It is the most reliable of all the configurations, period, and its total 18. So there now, let us multiply that figure by 12 inches 9072, or another 18, and that figure by 4 counting all 4 edges of its base 36,288 inches, and our NJ number 27 and 9, which connotes fullness. Then if we were to cube the GPG, it would have 312 edges x 36,288, 108,864 linear inches are 27 and 9 again, and 108,864, 12 inches 9,072, of course, or 18 again. If this were not enough, the 108,864, 25.20, the sacred cubit 4,320 and 9 are 108,864, 144,756, or 18, the prime number of the New Jerusalem divided by the wall of the New Jerusalem. Of course, all this is simply chance and accident, because we can prove anything and everything by cleverly manipulating numbers. Thank you, Mr. Skeptic. People just did things for the heck of it. Also, 756 x 756, 571,536 square feet, which is 27 by 6 sides of a cube. If we were to be cubed the GPG using its base as the primary side, 3,429,216 square feet are 27,144, 23,814, or 18, the prime number of the New Jerusalem. 25.20, the sacred cubit 945 or 94518, the prime number of the New Jerusalem. Again, could it be that the sacred cubit 25.20, the 144 of the New Jerusalem, are revealed in the Great Pyramid of Giza? Come on now, as the black preacher used to say. Track with me now. 3,429,216, 43,560 square feet, in an acre 78.72, but 7,87224, and there you have it, the 24 elders. Again, am I going out of my mind, or what? But let's go over the top here. 3,429,216 square feet x 144, for there are 144 square inches in 1 square foot, 493,807,104 square inches on the face sides of the GPG. If we were to cube it, which number is equivalent to 36, or our infamous 9 are 3 God, 6 man, God and man together are heaven and earth together. But wait, 493,807,104, 25.20, the sacred cubit 19,595,520, which is, would NTU know it, 36 or 9, or, forbid, 3 by 6, 18, and there we go again. So you see, when the GPG interacts with the numbers of the New Jerusalem, it just goes bonkers. Incidentally, we haven't integrated its elevation, the peculiarity of its capstone, its inner and subsurface chambers, etc., all of which integrate into the dimensions of the NJ. Again, let me repeat, the Great Pyramid of Giza, all its measurements including the Nile Delta quadrant, etc., are totally at ease and utterly at home with the sacred cubit and the measurements of the New Jerusalem that includes all its chambers, passageways and even its apparent irrigational genius, as well as the incredible nature of its missing capstone. What a wonder is that the blocks that make up the Great Pyramid of Giza and 273 and 153. One more wonder, now that we can do high-tech accounting of the blocks which constitute the number of stones used in the GPG, not only were there some 144,000 exterior casing stones, and I do not wish to argue that point, but with the technology of today we know that there are not 2 million stone blocks but 600,000 blocks. Quoting from Socrates G. Tassios that 756 could be spot on insofar as the base calculation, but many others have arrived at this as well, and of course, its witness to the heavens, alignment with constellations, stars, etc. Now the precise number of the blocks according to the Pascal computer used to build the Great Pyramid is 603,728, 13,016, 590,712, but let's just stick with the 603,728 number. Why the Pascal computer number 603,728? Please go to Numbers 232 and we read, these are the ones who were numbered of the children of Israel by their fathers' houses. All who were numbered according to their armies of the forces were 603,550, 603,550. We must add the special Levites who were redeemed at 273 to 603,550, 603,823, which just happens to be 95 off from the Pascal computer configuration, a measurement so small as to make it statistically inconsequential. Therefore, the armies of Israel equate to the number of blocks used in the building of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Yes, now, you didn't hear me say this, but taking Pascal computer's figure of 603,728, 603,823, the biblical accounting of the armies of Israel with the 273 redeemed from the Levites in that they had 22,273 and needed but 22,200, getting the average of the two numbers, we oddly enough come up with 603,775.5, precisely a 33, which is, of course, the prime number of Messiah, the age of Jesus, crucified, resurrected. But don't tell anyone, because they all think a 33rd degree Mason thought that one up. Likewise, the 273 Levites are redeemed from their tribe to stand in the regular armies of Israel were redeemed, taking 5 shekels for each one, or a shekel was worth 20 gerahs and known as the shekel of the sanctuary. Therefore, the total number of shekels of redemption were, according to Numbers, 351,365 shekels of the sanctuary, a 1,36515, a fractal of the 1,500 miles of the prime edge of the New Jerusalem, a 1 by 3 by 6 by 590, and 9 again, the number of fullness and connected to the NJ. The unique 273 is definitely connected to the NJ, for 273 by 144, 39,312, a 3, 9, 3, 1, 2, 1, 8, a 3 by 9 by 3 by 1 by 2, 18, and 19,602, and, of course, 273, 2, 7, 3, 1, 2, and when 273 is added to 144, we have a most interesting confirmation: 273,144,417, a 4, 1, 7, 1, 2, a 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 4. The 4 and 20 elders of the NJ are 12 times 12,144, the wall in cubits of the NJ. By adding 2 zeros to the 1,365 shekels, we arrive at the number of gerahs needed for redemption, at 136,500. Still 15 and 1 by 3 by 6 by 5, 10,890, or 18 and 136,500 by 144, 19,656,000, a 1, 9, 6, 5, 6, 2, 7, a 279, the number of fullness and another critical number of the New Jerusalem. By dividing 19,656,025.20, the number of the sacred cubit, interestingly enough, we arrive at 780,000, a 7, 815, a 15 is a fractal of one edge of the NJ, 1,500 miles, one of the 12 edges of the cubed NJ. The peculiarity of the 273 and the 273 miles from Giza's Great Pyramid to the Dome of the Spirits on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem is akin to the 153 fish caught at the Sea of Galilee, having not only to do with PI 3.14 but the rather obvious of 1539, a 1 by 5 by 315. Both numbers are incredibly linked to the NJ, but when we add 273,153 3 the redeemed and the fish, which obviously typify the gospel and the fishes of men yet to be redeemed. It equals 408 of 4, 8, 1, 2. Another of the primary numbers of the NJ are the 12 patriarchs of Israel and the 12 apostles of the Lamb of the NJ. What's of great interest is discovering another 12 in these combinations. For 273 to 153, 120 are 12 of the 120 in the upper room are the 120 of Nehemiah chapter 10,110 of the Great Synagogue. Multiplying these two sets of numbers, 273 by 153, 41,769 are 4, 1, 7, 6, 9, 2, 7, 9 are 2 by 7 by 3 by 1 by 5 by 3, 838,530 are 27 are 9 are 4 by 1 by 7 by 6 by 9, 16,631 or 18. The prime number of the NJ's 18,000 mile edges, which, again, are critical numbers of the NJ. Thus, the redemption of Israel and the Church bear incredible integration using the backdrop of the New Jerusalem as their raison d'etre. I should more adequately address the Pascal computer calculations and their importance, as well as the relationship of the sacred cubit and the 144. The Pascal computer number of blocks total of 603,728 does represent a most amazing number 26. However, 6 by 3 by 7 by 2 by 8, 2016 are 216 are 2,160, which is both the diameter of the moon in miles, as well as the very name of God 216. Furthermore, 2 by 1 by 6, 12, which these blocks of stone via the Pascal computer are most certainly connected to the 12 tribes of Israel, for it was they whose history is filled with messianic promise. Looking forward to the New Jerusalem's 12 gates, who have the names of the 12 tribes of Israel, for it is in cubit inches. Revelation chapter 2117. I go into great detail in the purposes of God to establish the 25.20 sacred cubit sacred inch using the 360 degrees in a day's 24-hour rotation x 7 days in a week 2,520 degrees, and the handwriting on the wall against Belshazzar the king, as a Chaldean monetary measurement of 2,520 gerahs, as in Mena 1,000 gerahs, Mena 1,000 gerahs, Tekel 20 gerahs, Upharsin and 500 are 1/2 a Mena of 500 gerahs, 2,520 gerahs. Daniel chapter 52,429 and Ezekiel chapter 405, wherein 6 1 breadth with a hand breadth to 3.6 x 725.20, and many other calculations as well, to say nothing of Sir Isaac Newton's discovery and conclusion of 25.02, which in essence is 252, as is 25.20 252. Earth's moon. But I digress to tell you, the distance between the Earth and the Moon at apogee, its furthest elliptical distance, is 252,000 miles, the number of the sacred cubit, and 252,000 by 5,280 in a mile, 1,330,560,000 a 1, 3, 3, 5, 6, 1, 8, the prime number of the New Jerusalem. But, of course, again, this is but an accident. Likewise, 1,330,560,000 by 12, 15,966,720,000, which is 36 or 3 by 6, 18, another happenstance, but due to one's persistence to argue with sacred calculations. Let us quickly examine the diameter of Earth's moon at 2,160 miles, 360,2520, the sacred cubit. Or, to be certain of our skepticism, 2,169 and 2520, 918, i.e., 99, and what of this 2,160 miles by 5,280, 11,404,800 a 1, 1, 4, 4, 8, 1, 8, the prime number of the New Jerusalem. Again, still, they will not believe. If Moses were raised from the dead, they would not believe, but maybe we could cube the moon using its diameter. Then will they believe using its diameter as one of its cubed edges? We have 2,160 by 12 edges, 25,920 or 18, again as in 2, 5, 9, 2, 1, 8. Still they will not believe, so we take 11,404,800 by 11,404,800, 130,069,463,040,000 square feet are one side of a cubed moon's 6 sides, 36 or 3 by 6, 18, the prime number of the New Jerusalem, and 130,069,463,040 63,040,000 by 6 sides, 780,416,778,240,000 to 54,549. Another NJ number of repute back to the Great Pyramid of Giza, and that wall, again, is 144 cubits by 25.20, 36,288 of the perimeter at its base of the Great Pyramid of Giza, 756 by 12, 9,072 by 4 edges of the base, 36,288, which is the precise measurement of the wall of the New Jerusalem's 144 sacred cubits by 25.20, 36,288. So, as it turns out, the Pascal computer is onto something. Question: do the blocks of the GPG tell us of the 24 elders, the 144 of the New Jerusalem, and the sacred cubits measurement of 25.20? Yet, even subtracting the 13,016 from the original 603,728 to arrive at 590,712 blocks, we still get 2459712224, and the scenario plays itself out again. We haven't discussed the GPG and squaring its circle and its incredible revelatory heights, sine, angles at the base, Nile delta configurations in the astounding interior measurements, all of which are wholly committed to the measurements of the New Jerusalem, what John Mitchell calls the dimensions of paradise, but he has no idea why its wall is 144 cubits. p. 21 The Dimensions of Paradise 2008 edition. Well, I can't resist, and, as you well know, the base angles are 51 degrees 5151. Now, let's do the marvelous math. 516 666 but 51515118, the cardinal and most essential measurement of the totality of the NJ. Everything appears sacred, everything points to the New Jerusalem. Imagine, hard to, I know, but there can be nothing more spectacular than this. The divine geometer was and is hard at work to affect his New Jerusalem, and if I were to tell you that in a triangle there is 180 degrees 18, then what of the peak of the Great Pyramid of Giza, which was never completed purposefully? So, I affirm, until the shouting of grace are heard from Zechariah chapter 4 and the capstone is finally complete that said, let's do the math. 51 degrees 5151, 51 degrees 5151, 103 degrees 4342, and 180 degrees 103 degrees 4342, 76 degrees 1618. The top of the Great Pyramid of Giza is 76161,829, a 2 by 918, which is the prime number of the New Jerusalem, a 181818. All three major angles of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Note 60 minutes in a degree and 60 seconds in 1 minute. But all of the above are from but one measurement of GPG 756, and, of course, its base angles and top angle if it were extended. But one more final mind-numbing discovery of the sacred cubit with the Great Pyramid of Giza, and why the 756 linear foot base on one of its 4 base sides. Watch carefully, for the hand of the divine eye is much quicker than poor puny man's failing sight. 7 by 5 by 6,210 by 12 edges of a cubed Great Pyramid of Giza, 2,520, a 25.20, the sacred cubit. Now, pray tell, this but another of a multitude of happenstance occurrences, no doubt. Well, now you can see why I'm going mad. I would also like to point out that the only 2 proper names mentioned in the NJ are the 12 gates, which bear the names of the 12 tribes of Israel, and the 12 apostles of the Lamb. The 12 foundations are 12 by 12,144, for the wall is 144 cubits. The integration of the work of God is 1, from Abraham to the end of the age. The NJ, the dimensions of paradise are utterly astounding. I hasten to add that Stonehenge, Apiary, Glastonbury and a host of other sacred monuments, even so-called lays throughout antiquity, when integrated with a sacred cubit, come utterly alive. Likewise, this includes Noah's Ark, the Great Pyramid of Giza throughout, of course the Tabernacle in the wilderness, all the temples of Israel, and especially Ezekiel's temple, and all point toward the NJ. We're onto something here, something really huge. I am also convinced that the ancient zodiac is not a Sumerian concoction, but wholly committed to Adam, Seth and Enoch, and as a prophetic timepiece given by divine measurements set in the heavens from Abraham to the millenarian age. In Hebrew it is called the Mazzaroth. Canst thou bring forth Mazzaroth in his season? Job 383,133 KJV. Copyright 2011. Doug Krieger. Dimensions of the New Jerusalem, a 33-part video series, includes a series understanding of number and sacred geometry. Covers major objects of sacred text: Judeo-Christian, Noah's Ark, Ark of the Covenant, Children of Israel, Tabernacle in the Wilderness, all the temples of Israel, Ezekiel's future millenarian temple, Great Pyramid of Giza, Astronomy, the New Jerusalem, The Purposes of God, video ebook by Doug Krieger, subject related resources.